I have a secret. Most people arrive expecting another Italian city, a quick stop, a beautiful waterfront, a few photographs, maybe a plate of pasta before moving on. But after 2 days with me, many leave with a different feeling, because I am not quite what they expected. I am Trieste, a city at the edge of Italy, where cultures, languages, and histories have met for centuries. And if you're spending 2 days here, I want to show you something most visitors miss. Not just what to see, but what those places reveal about who I really am. I sit between the sea and the hills, between Italy and Central Europe, between past and present. That is why I feel different. Many visitors notice it immediately. My architecture doesn't always resemble what they expect from Venice, Florence, or Rome. My atmosphere feels calmer, more reserved, almost as if multiple worlds settled here and never fully blended. If you have only 2 days with me, begin where my story is easiest to feel. Walk through Piazza Unità d'Italia, one of Europe's largest sea-facing squares. Stand there for a moment. Behind you, elegant buildings. Ahead of you, the Adriatic Sea. It's the perfect introduction to who I am. A meeting point between land and water, between arrivals and departures. Most people begin with my waterfront. And honestly, that's not a bad place to start. Walk along my Grand Canal. Watch the boats resting quietly on the water. Look at the buildings reflected in the canal after sunset. This is one of the most photographed parts of me. But it's also symbolic. For centuries, people arrived here by sea. Merchants, travelers, dreamers. The canal reminds me that movement has always shaped my identity. Nearby, you'll find cafés and restaurants where locals slow down and watch life pass by. If you stop for coffee or an evening drink, don't rush. Trieste isn't a city that reveals itself quickly. The slower you move, the more you notice. And that brings us to an important question. If I look Italian, why do I sometimes feel like something else? The answer begins to appear in my architecture. Look around. Notice the grand facades, the wide streets, the elegant public spaces. I grew under influences that reached far beyond modern Italy. That history shaped the way I look today. And nowhere is the contrast more visible than when old and new stand side by side. Take the Roman theatre. By day, it feels like a reminder of ancient origins. By night, illuminated beneath modern buildings, it tells a different story, a story of layers, one civilization built over another, one chapter resting quietly beneath the next. That layering is everywhere, and once you start seeing it, you can't stop. By now, you've seen my famous views. But the second day is where understanding begins. Walk my downtown streets without a destination. Notice how different parts of the city feel. Observe the details in the buildings, the mixture of styles, the rhythm of daily life. Many travelers spend their entire visit checking locations off a list. The irony: the best part of Trieste often happens between the landmarks, in the quiet moments, in the transitions, in the spaces where you stop trying to find attractions and simply experience the city itself. That is when my personality becomes visible, not loud, not dramatic, just quietly present. Perhaps that is why I remain misunderstood. Visitors often ask, "What's the one thing I absolutely must see?" The truth is that no single place explains me. Not the canal, not the square, not the waterfront, not even my history. You understand me by connecting them together. The sea, the architecture, the people, the atmosphere, the layers. Only then does the picture emerge. I'm not simply a destination. I am a crossroads, a place shaped by centuries of encounters, a city that learned how to carry multiple identities at once and somehow remain itself. Before you leave, let me share a few things. 2 days is enough to experience my heart. Most of my central attractions are walkable. The waterfront, Piazza Unità d'Italia, the Grand Canal, and the historic center can easily be explored on foot. Sunrise and sunset are when I look my best. The light softens. The sea glows. The buildings become warmer. And if you can, stay until after dark. My canals, squares, and waterfront transform completely at night. As for food, you don't need an elaborate plan. A simple meal near the center, a local beer, a coffee beside the canal, and time to sit and observe will tell you more about me than any guidebook. Because understanding a city isn't only about seeing, it's about staying long enough to feel it. So what do we know about Trieste after 2 days? We know I am beautiful, but beauty was never the whole story. We know I stand beside the sea, but I have always been connected to places far beyond it. We know I belong to Italia,